All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the real foundation of how an AI actually thinks. We are talking about search, that core logic that powers everything from your GPS to solving these super complex puzzles and even playing games at a world champion level. So let's dive in and see how an AI learns to find its way through the world one single decision at a time. You know, when you boil it all down, it really comes down to this question. Whether it's finding the shortest route to a coffee shop or checkmating a grandmaster, an AI basically sees the world as one giant maze full of possibilities. Its entire job is to find the one winning path through that maze. The real question is, how does it actually do it? So before an AI can solve anything, we have to teach it the rules of the game. We've got to give it a map, a list of all the legal moves, and a really clear idea of what it means to win. This is the blueprint for its entire universe. First things first, every story needs a hero, right? Well, in AI, we call our hero an agent. And don't picture some kind of physical robot here. Just think of it as the decision maker. It's the little piece of code that looks at the world, figures out what's going on, and then decides what to do next. Okay, so what's a state? Just think of it like a single snapshot in time. For a puzzle like this one, every single unique arrangement of the tiles is a totally different state. The whole game, then, is really just a journey from whatever state you start in to the one winning state. So get this. Pretty much any problem, I don't care how complicated it is, can be broken down for our agent with this 5-part toolkit. It defines the starting line, the moves it's allowed to make, what happens when it makes them, the finish line, and of course, the final score. With just these 5 rules, our AI has everything it needs to start its quest. All right, so our agent has its rulebook. Now let's give it a strategy for actually solving a problem. We're going to start with something incredibly simple, a kind of common sense approach that feels intuitive. But, as you're about to see, it has a massive critical flaw. So here's the basic plan. The agent has a to-do list of places to check out. We call this its frontier. It just grabs the top item on the list, sees if it's the final destination, and if it's not, it adds all the new places it just discovered to the list. Then it just does that over and over and over again until it either hits the target or just completely runs out of road. So let's see this in action. Our agent wants to get from point A to point E. It starts at A, so naturally, A is the only thing on its to-do list. Simple enough, right? So it pulls A off the list and sees the only place it can go is B. Okay, so B becomes the new frontier. The next logical step is to check out B. Looks like it's making progress, or is it? But hang on a minute. This seems, a little too simple. If the path isn't just a straight line, what's the hidden trap in this approach? And there it is, the fatal flaw. If the agent can go from A to B, but it can also go from B back to A, it gets stuck in an infinite loop. It has no memory of where it's already been, so it just keeps bouncing back and forth between the two forever. The solution, thankfully, is pretty simple. We just give our agent a memory. We create something called an explored set, which is just a list of every single place it's already visited. Now it can make a new rule. Only add places to the to-do list that it's never seen before. And just like that, the infinite loop is solved. Okay, now that our agent has a memory, we can start giving it different strategies for how it chooses what to explore next from its list. And the 2 most basic approaches have completely different, personalities. We call them depth-first search and breadth-first search. This all comes down to 2 totally different ways of thinking. Depth-first search, that's like a plunger. It picks one path and just goes as deep as it can, only backing up when it hits a dead end. Breadth-first search is more like a cautious explorer. It checks every single nearby spot at its current level before it dares to take even one step deeper. The plunger might find an answer faster, sure, but the cautious explorer is guaranteed to find the absolute best one. So up until now, our agent has basically been searching blind. But what if? What if we could give it a hint? A sense of direction? Well, that's the brilliant idea behind what we call informed search. We give the agent some problem-specific knowledge to help it make much, much smarter guesses.
The undisputed superstar of informed search is called A*, and its genius is this one simple formula. To decide where to go next, it balances two things: G of n, which is the actual cost of the path it's already traveled, and H of n, which is its best guess, we call this a heuristic, of how far it still has to go. It's the perfect balance between what it knows for sure and what it can intelligently guess.
And this is the exact logic that powers your GPS. For our 15 puzzle here, the A* agent will always choose to explore the tile arrangement that has the best combination of moves it's already made, plus the estimated moves it has left. This is huge. It stops it from wandering down long, useless paths and helps it zero in on the solution with just incredible efficiency. Okay, so we've taught our agent how to solve puzzles that just sit there. It's gotten pretty smart. But all of this goes out the window when the puzzle isn't static anymore, when you're playing a game and there's an opponent on the other side who is actively trying to make you lose. And this brings us into the world of adversarial search. Now, it's no longer about just finding a path to the goal, it's about finding the winning path when your opponent is trying to block you and ruin your plans at every single turn. The classic algorithm for this is called minimax, and its logic is just pure rational paranoia. Our AI, the max player, wants the highest score possible. But here's the key. It assumes the opponent, the min player, is a genius who will always make the perfect move that leads to the lowest possible score for our AI. It's literally planning to win against a perfect opponent. To do this, the AI maps out the entire future of the game in this big tree of possibilities. It looks ahead to all the possible ways the game could end, what we call terminal states, and it gives them a score. A win for the AI is +1, a loss is -1, and a draw is just 0. And this is where the magic happens. The algorithm works backward from those final scores. It lets the values trickle all the way up the tree, with each player choosing their best possible move at each level. By the time it gets all the way back to the present, to the current move, the AI can see the guaranteed final outcome of every single move it could possibly make right now. And why go through all this trouble for a simple game like tic-tac-toe? Well, because that number right there, that's the number of unique ways a game of tic-tac-toe can play out. An AI can't just cross its fingers and hope for the best. It needs a bulletproof strategy like Minimax to see into the future and guarantee it never makes a single mistake. So think about it. We've gone from a simple agent getting stuck in a dumb loop to a strategic AI that can literally play a perfect game of tic-tac-toe. And all of it was built on this one foundation of defining a problem and systematically searching for a solution. It really makes you stop and wonder, if a few simple rules can lead to such complex, strategic behavior, then what does that tell us about the nature of intelligence itself?